Today's gospel reading is from Luke chapter 15, verses 1 through 10. Tax collectors and other notorious sinners often came to listen to Jesus teach. This made the Pharisees and teachers of a religious law complain that he was associating with such sinful people, even eating with them. So Jesus told them the story. If a man had 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, what will he do? Won't he leave the 99 other in the wilderness and go search for the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he will joyfully carry it home on his shoulders. When he arrives, he will call together his friends and neighbors, saying, "Rejoice with me because I have found my lost sheep." In the same way, there is no more joy in heaven over one lost sinner who repeats and returns to God than over 99 others who are righteous and haven't strayed away. The community may be seated.
Hello, my name is David, and I will be sharing my reflection. My week at Shoshone was unlike any other week I have had. I met so many wonderful people who made the week exceptional. There were so many good moments I had with the youth groups who went, as well as with the other people at camp and the homeowners that we got to serve. Serving had its ups and downs, from cleaning a stinky chicken coop to receiving homemade huckleberry ice cream as payment for cleaning that chicken coop. A lot of what we did was learning about the Bible and serving. Our theme verse of the week was from Ephesians, and it said that God's love goes beyond anything we can understand. I saw this boundless love reflected in all of the priceless moments, such as when some of us slept outside underneath the stars with youth from another church from Montana, and when I somehow got the courage to scale a huge rock wall. I also got a chance to learn a lot about how people who come from many different backgrounds, from wildly different states, all interact with and interpret the Bible in different ways, and how we all viewed the various stories we read was very eye-opening for me. I also saw God's love in the hospitality of both of our hosts with fresh cinnamon rolls, root beer floats, and homemade ice cream sandwiches. God's love was most evident in all of the camp songs that we sang around the campfire, and in all the relationships that we built throughout the week. But we also had time for fun too. My favorite activity at camp was definitely the horseback riding. I never knew how much I loved horses until I rode a horse named Midnight. Alongside daily freezing swims in the creek, the amazing conversations and jokes I had with new and old friends during the trip were irreplaceable. I am so extremely grateful that I had the opportunity to go on this trip, and I am already looking forward to hopefully doing it all again next summer.
Hello, I'm Kaylee. So at the beginning of the summer, I had the amazing opportunity to go and participate in Leadership Lab. And one of the most common questions I got about the trip when I was turned is, what is lab? I always had a difficult time answering this because lab is such a hard thing to describe. So the purpose is to go and learn how to be a leader while growing your relationship with God. Through different workshops and activities, I was able to learn more about myself as a leader and as a person. This is what we do at lab, and it seems like a pretty straightforward answer, but lab is also so much more than that, and it's more like a feeling you get. You meet incredible people there, and the environment is one of inclusiveness and love. By the end of the week, I felt like I was part of a family, one that I got to grow and change with throughout the course of lab, and it was truly one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I had no idea how much lab would mean to me going into the week, but by the end, one of the things that stood out to me the most was the connections. There's something about lab that brings people together in such a quick and easy way, and while I was only there for a week, I came away with 6 new best friends. I can't even begin to describe how much I love and care for these people I got to know while at lab. It was amazing to see all the connections that people were making with each other, but I also got to see people connecting with God throughout the week, which was also a joy to watch. Another question I got asked a lot was if I would want to go back. My answer is always yes. Lab changed my life, and I can't imagine not going back. You meet the most incredible people there, and they welcome you with open arms, including you into the lab family. You get an opportunity to learn leadership skills that will last you the rest of your life, but you'll also get to learn a lot about yourself. Because of the discussions we had and the worships that took place, I was able to be more honest with myself, which helped me open up to new people and experiences. You also get a chance to form a close relationship with God. I know that I wasn't too good about keeping up my relationship with God or staying close to Him, but I definitely felt God's presence at Lab, and I was able to start rebuilding that relationship. One of the most impactful lessons I learned while at Lab was to be yourself. I don't like to put myself out there very much, and I'm not one to step out of my comfort zone and try new things or meet new people very often, but at Lab, that all seemed to melt away. Everyone there was so welcoming that I was encouraged to let them get to know me, and I was definitely rewarded by the friendships I made. I was welcomed by the people there and loved just for being myself. Well, learning to be myself was definitely a big part of my experience. The Lab theme for the week, "You Are Not Alone," was really what resonated with me, and it was just what I needed to hear at the time. After being in lockdown for so long because of COVID, and then going into my first full year of in-person high school and focusing solely on the schoolwork, I was feeling alone and lost as a person. I felt like the lost sheep in the gospel reading for today. Lab was God coming and finding me, leaving the other 99 sheep to be delivered back to where I needed to be. I found my place and my people at Lab, and I came away knowing that I had people around me supporting and loving me. God came and found me that week, a lost sheep, and brought me back to be welcomed by the rest of His flock.
Hi, I'm Brenna. Hi. So this summer, I went on my last trip with the youth to Idaho Servant Adventures, and there are so many amazing things I could tell you about this trip. I could tell you about the Christmas and July dinner we had, and how now I'm an expert of scraping moss off of concrete. And I could tell you how we got to climb an actual rock wall, and how we all cheered as we reached to ring the bell at the very top. There's no way I could tell you about every single thing that we did, so I'll narrow it down to a few things. The whole point of this trip was to strengthen our faith in God by serving communities close to camp. At least that's how I came out of it. Part of the week, we served Dale and Gloria, who lived on one of the most beautiful properties I've ever seen. We were surrounded by hills filled with huckleberry bushes and pine trees. Every day, we helped them with little things like pulling weeds and scraping moss off the walls. And to me, these seemed like little chores that meant almost nothing. But to Dale and Gloria, these chores meant so much more. They thanked us and gave us treats every day to help us cool down from the afternoon heat, because there were days where it was very hot and we were all exhausted, but it was always worth it. Gloria told stories of moose that came down to visit the apple trees that they have, and how elk come down all the time too, and how Gloria even put out a salt lick for them because they come so often. By the end of the week, I counted myself very lucky and a changed person because of this trip. I'm very lucky because I had the opportunity to help two incredible people who deeply love and care about what they do. I'm lucky because I got to see firsthand what their lives look like, but that's also the reason why I'm a changed person. Actually seeing how the farm runs and the amount of work that goes into the amount of work that gets put into it really helps me appreciate everything so much more. These two people get up at dawn each day and have some of the strongest faith I've ever seen. Not just faith in God and what He does for us, but faith in each other and themselves. They fully rely on each other, and that is a beautiful thing to witness. I'll never forget it. Seeing how Dale and Gloria's faith stayed so strong and has changed my perspective on so many things. It was a truly inspiring, unforgettable place that I will always hold dear to my heart. Please rise, embody your spirit, and join in singing the song of the day.